Okay, good morning. I'd like to call the October 11th DuPage County Finance Committee to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Member Chaplin.
Here.
Member Covert. Member Desart. Member DeCiani. Member Eckhoff. Member Garcia. Here. Member Hart. Member Krajewski. Member LaPlante. Member Ozog. Member Phillips. Member Patalski. Member Renahan. Member Rutledge. Here. Member Schwarzy. Member Selman. Member Tornatori. And Member Zay.
Oh, and Member Renahan, and we have some Renahan, Schwarzy, and Eckhoff all here. Great. So we have a quorum. Do we have any public comment this morning? Okay, no public comment. I'm going to save my chair remarks for the budget discussion. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the Finance Committee meetings from September 27th? I have a motion by Member Garcia, a second by Member Ozog. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, the motion carries. We move on to item 6, budget transfers. Can I have a motion on FIR 041022?
Second.
Resolution budget transfers from 10/11/22 from various companies and accounting units. I had a motion from Member Krajewski, a second from Member Garcia. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We move on to procurement representations. We have development with Member Tornatori.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval of 2022-83, an agreement between the County of DuPage and Acela Inc. for annual subscription services for software integration with Building and Zoning, Stormwater Management, Division of Transportation and Public Works, all in the amount of $7,087.50 for a total amount not to exceed $28,350.
Okay, I have a motion by Member Tornatori, a second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Member
Thank you,
Tornatori.
Madam Chair.
We move on to Health and Human Services. Member Renahan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on item 7B, change order HHSP 223A-22, amendment to resolution HHSP 223-22, issued to DuPage Federation on Human Services Reform, Language Access Resource Center, American Sign Language Services, increasing by $3,000.
I have a motion by Member Renahan, a second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I move on HHSP 280-22, recommendation for approval of a contract purchase order to Cimbria Inc. for physical occupational speech and respiratory therapy and consulting for the Care Center, November 30th, 2022 through November 29th, 2023, not to exceed $1 million.
I have a motion by Member Renahan, a second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Member Renahan.
I move on HHSP 283-22, recommendation for approval of a contract purchase order to Cimbria Inc. for Community Wellness Partner for Wellness and Outpatient Center, Staffing and Management for the Care Center, November 30th, 2022 through November 29th, 2023, not to exceed $65,000.
Motion by Member Renahan, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Member Renahan.
I move on HHSP 284-22, recommendation for approval of contract to Pulmonary Exchange Limited for rental of respiratory care equipment for the Care Center, November 2022 through November 19th, 2023, not to exceed $57,000.
The motion by Member Renahan, a second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Member Renahan.
I move on HHSR 403-22, resolution approval of issuance payments by DuPage County to energy assistance providers for the low and through LIHEAP FY22 in the amount of $2,565,380.
I have a motion by Member Renahan, a second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Member Renahan.
I move on HHSR 405-22 resolution. This is a rate increase for the Care Center per patient day that was fixed by resolution HHSR 464-21, changing from $345 a day to $359 for standard custodial care, from $373 to $388 per day for Alzheimer's special care, and from $593 to $617 for post-acute care effective December 1st, 2022.
Motion by Member Renahan, second by Member Schwarzy. Member Colbert and then Member Say.
Yeah, can I have the reason for why these rates are increasing? Because, you know, whenever medical costs go up, it is concerning for the patients. And I just want to know why the rates are increasing and if it's because of wages, if there's some way that we can rectify that through our budget.
Do we have, do we have, any-
Do we have Director Chadwick on the line?
yeah, do we have anybody here that can explain it?
Anyone from the care center?
We know, yeah, go ahead, Nick, if you want to.
I think I know the reason, but I know that Janelle is over here on the way for executive session. My recommendation is we could push this off and then she could answer that question when she does get here for executive session. But my thought process is, from what I remember, is that these rates are what's allowed by the state now, and that's why we're adopting that.
Right, and I believe Medicaid,
Yeah, there was an allowable
Right.
rate change, but
Yes.
again, I prefer
There was-
Janelle speak to it than
yeah, I
myself.
prefer Janelle speak to it as well, but there is some. So do we want to,
Can we possibly pass it
Can
and
we-
then more information later? Or do
yeah,
you
can we
wanna hold
pass it out of my, no? Okay, you want me to pull it and then we'll come back to it at the end of the meeting? That okay, Bonnie? Motion to table until the end of the meeting? Okay, motion by member Zay, second by member Selman to motion to the end of meeting. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Okay, we move on to JPS with member Renahan.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval of JPSP 27422, recommendation for approval of contract purchase order to Nolan Sales Corporation to furnish, deliver, and install interface carpet and flooring for the circuit court clerk, not to exceed $228,336.17.
Motion by member Renahan, second by member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Member Renahan.
I move approval of JPSP 27522, recommendation for approval of contract purchase order to Public Safety Direct Inc. for repairs, monthly maintenance, and upfitting of new sheriff's vehicles for the sheriff's office, October 30th, 2022 through October 29th, 2023, not to exceed $260,000.
Motion by member Renahan, second by member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Member Renahan.
I move approval of JPSP 27622, approval of a contract purchase order to Sentinel Offender Services to provide GPS device and electronic monitoring for juveniles and indigent adult offenders and their victims, October 30th, 2022 through October 29th, 2023, not to exceed $306,000. This is for probation and court services.
Motion by member Renahan, second by member Garcia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Member Renahan.
I move approval of JPSP 27822, recommendation for approval of contract purchase order to William Roro Beck, attorney at law, to serve as a conflict attorney for the court, November 1st, 2022 through November 30th, 2023, not to exceed $47,500.
Motion by member Renahan, second by member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Member Renahan.
I move approval of JPSP 27922, recommendation for approval of a contract purchase order to Progressive Communication for purchase and installation of audio visual equipment and system upgrade for the jury commission in the amount of $32,759.
Motion by member Renahan, second by member Covert. Any discussion? Member Selman.
Apologies for not catching this in committee, but is this eligible for ARPA? Are we able to use ARPA dollars for this? Because it's expanding AV. Does sound like I know, but that's okay. It's always good to ask. I'm fine passing it too, and maybe we can discuss it at county board if that's easier.
We can look at it in between meetings, but even if we pass it now, we can
Change it at
reallocate.
10 if
Yes,
we
we
were
can
able to.
reallocate accordingly.
Cool. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, member Renahan. We move on to Public Works. Member Ozak.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I move for approval of PWP 028122, recommendation for the approval of an agreement between the County of DuPage and Clark Dietz for on-call professional engineering and design services for DuPage water and wastewater treatment facilities on an as-needed basis for their period October 11th, 2022 through November 30th, 2025 for a total amount not to exceed $90,000. Professional services vetted through a qualification-based selection process.
Motion by member Ozak, second by member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, Member Ozak. We move on to stormwater. Member Zay.
Morning, Madam Chair. Move on SMP 28222, approval of contract renewal with Conservation Foundation Professional Education Services, the amount not to exceed 35,000, second renewal.
Motion by Member Zay, second by Member Garcia. Can we please make sure that we show Member Phillips leaving the room? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Member Zay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Move on SMR 36622, intergovernmental agreement between DuPage County and the City of Oak Brook Terrace Storm Sewer Replacement Project, amount 500,000, ARPA item.
Motion by Member Zay, second by Member Covert. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Member Zay.
Madam Chair, move on SMR 39722, enter an intergovernmental agreement between DuPage County and the City of West Chicago for Klein Road Culvert Replacement, amount 169,000, ARPA item.
Motion by Member Zay, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Member Zay.
Thank you, Madam Chair, move on SMR 39822, enter an intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the Village of Bloomingdale for Levitt Pond improvements, the amount not to exceed $299,410, ARPA item.
Motion by Member Zay, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Member Zay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Move on SMR 40722, enter an intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the Village of Bensonville for Addison Creek Storm Sewer Improvement Project, amount not to exceed $500,000, ARPA item.
Motion by Member Zay, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, Member
Thank you, Madam
Zay.
Chair.
We move on to technology. Member Selman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on TEP 285-22, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to SHI International Corp. for year 3 of the renewal for Adobe. This goes November 10th, 2022 through November 9th, 2023 for a total of $204,854.46. It's a governmental joint purchasing act purchase, and it's an ARPA expense.
Motion by Member Selman, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? Member Krajewski.
So we're using ARPA money, are we, for the whole purchase, but are we billing the Forest Reserve for their share?
Anthony, can you kind of come up?
There it is. Good morning. Yeah, we're charging them back, the Forest Reserve for their share.
So are we only using the portion that's our share for ARPA?
Correct.
Okay, so we're not using the whole thing for ARPA. The whole purchase, we're only using the portion that's our portion, and then we're billing them for theirs.
I have to get clarification on that. So for that portion, so.
Just the Adobe sign portion is the ARPA. Sorry. Just the ARPA portion is the Adobe sign for us, because that's the only thing that qualifies for ARPA. The rest of the money is just paid out of normal funds, and the Forest Reserve is being charged back for all of their Adobe stuff, but they don't use sign, so it's just
So
straight.
How much of this 204 is ARPA?
I'd have to get back to you on that
That's all right.
number.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Member Krajewski. Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Member Selman.
Thank you. I move on TEP 286-22, a recommendation for approval of contract purchase order to BDO USA Solutions Provider for annual software maintenance of our fire security software. It's from December 10th, 2022 through December 9th, 2023 for a total of $149,486. This is a second of 3 renewal options and is also an ARPA item.
Motion by Member Selman, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Member Selman.
Lastly, I move on TEP 287-22, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order design cloud solutions for training. This is October 17th, 2022 through November 30th, 2023 for a total of $82,075 per lowest responsible bid.
Motion by Member Selman, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, the motion carries. Thank you, Member Salmon. We move on to transportation. Member Kachowski.
Good morning, Madam Chair. I move to approve DTP 0277-22 recommendation for approval contract with Ref Inc. USA Inc. for professional surveying services upon request of Department of Transportation, 80,000. Facilities maintenance, 7,500, and public works, 12,500 for a total contract not to exceed $100,000.
Motion by Member Kachowski, second by Member Rutledge. Our Member Salmon. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Member Kachowski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Move to approve DTR 0396-22, a resolution with DuPage County Fair Share Impact Fee Individual Assessment Agreement with Pritzker Realty Group.
Motion by Member Kachowski, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Okay, I'll call her. Okay, we move on to finance resolutions. Member Kajewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on FIR 0391-22, authorization and transfer and appropriate $3 million in additional funds from the general fund to the care center fund.
Motion by Member Kajewski, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, the motion carries. Member Kajewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on FIR 0395-22, resolutions acceptance appropriation of the state court improvement program, $5,000 grant.
Motion by Member Kajewski, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Member Kajewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on FIR 0402-22, resolution acceptance appropriation additional funding for the low income home energy assistance program, $2,983,000.
Motion by Member Kajewski, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, the motion carries. Member Kajewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on FIR 0404-22, accepts appropriation of ARPA long-term care program grant, $1,167,639.
Motion by Member Kajewski, second by Member Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, the motion carries. Member
Thank you,
Kajewski.
Madam Chair. I move on FIR 0406-22 resolution, which is acceptance appropriation of an employment barrier reduction program, $84,375.
Motion by Member Kajewski, second by Member Garcia and Member Renahan.
Yeah, I just want to bring this up because this is a new grant. So good job on community services. Basically, if you're looking for employment and you qualify for SNAP benefits, this is it helps pay for little things like repairing a car or different things to help break down barriers to help someone get a job. So happy to see that on this agenda.
Great. Thank you, Member Renahan. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Member Kajewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on FIR 0411-22, additional appropriation for the ARPA fund for the local American Rescue Plan Act program for townships, $210,300.
Motion by Member Kajewski, second by Member Garcia. Member Zay.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to thank you for meeting with me and discussing this project, and thanks to the board for bringing it forward on additional township or Wayne Township. So appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Yep, thank you so much. We like working together on things like this. So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Excuse me, Member Kajewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on FIR 0412-22, the resolution amendment to resolution FIR 0340-22 for the approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the DuPage County Townships for the use of the ARPA funds. The new program total is $3,459,976.
Motion by Member Kajewski, second by Member Garcia. I see Member Ozak and Member Rutledge. Go ahead, Member Ozak.
Thank you. I have a question about item D and G. Are these new ARPA funds or part of our ARPA allocation?
These are part of the original allocation.
They are,
This
okay.
is
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
meaning that
G just add an F to it. F's being added to G.
yeah, the care center one is for the care center,
Correct.
right? And that's new money.
That's what, I know Janelle is gonna be here on the phone. I believe that's, I don't know if Janelle wanted to talk to that one.
So this
think
is
it's for
a-
additional hero pay. Yeah, it is,
So it's a
Care
new
Center-
program coming from the federal government. Okay.
State money.
Oh, I'm sorry, state. Okay. Gotcha.
So.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Member Rutledge. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Sure.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. So the item G, the only outstanding township request still is Lyle Township. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And where are we on that request?
We followed up with Lyle Township this last week. We had additional questions about the feasibility of that particular project. It's a $1 million project. As you might recall, the biggest project that we did for anyone else was about $500,000. So this is a very large project. We sent back a series of questions to them that are very detailed about their construction schedule. Things have to be done by the end of 2024. So the feasibility of that project is really an issue for us. We have concerns about the schedule. We also sent back a lot of questions about their construction plans, given the delays, I think, on the front with supply chain. We're just wondering, for such a big project, it's a $3.5 million project. They have not yet, they're still in the process of requesting all the money from their board. I think that's one of the things that happens partly in October. So we haven't heard back from them, but we're circling around with them.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Rutledge. Member Krajewski?
Well, we're on the townships. Do you know which ones still haven't returned their intergovernmental agreements? Just down the scroll. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Before we move on to informational, Janelle, would you like to come up here and address, we're going back to HHS. If we could have you address the resolution. Can I have a motion to take from table resolution HHSR 040522? We have a motion and a second to remove from the tabling. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Janelle, go ahead, please.
This is a question. Oh, I'm sorry, what was the specific question about the
Member
rate?
Colbert had a question. Go ahead, and the member say.
Hi,
Hi.
good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. Just wanted to know what the reason was for the rate increase.
We do a rate increase every year at the care center and it fluctuates. When we look at our competitor, we do an analysis. So we usually done 4%, sometimes 3%. Last year we did 2%, and this year we'll be doing 4%.
Do we have to do the rate increase? Is it required, or are we just doing?
We do it to help cover our costs. It is a significant. So we have a lot of residents that come in with very limited funds, and they are in a spend down status, and that's a private pay fund, and then they convert to Medicaid.
Right. My only concern is that with healthcare costs going up and,
Absolutely.
inflation, there may be individuals that may not be able to afford it if they don't have Medicare, or that's my only concern, because, everything's rising, and,
Right.
and I was just, I'm trying to think if it's a wage issue or a cost issue, if that could be covered by our budget or by ARPA, or, another alternative instead of raising these healthcare rates for
Right.
people
So
that.
if the individuals are limited funds, then that would be a conversion to Medicaid. So they're safe. If they don't have the assets or they run out of assets, then they're converted to Medicaid and they stay right within our building. We wouldn't discharge them. Does that make sense?
As long as everyone's taken care of.
They are taken care of. Yes.
Okay,
It's part of
thank
the
you.
spend down process.
Thank
yes.
you.
Members say.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's per day. I mean, that's almost, some of them are over $5,000 a year.
Correct.
So these
Correct.
people, just want to make sure, what's the percentage of our people that are on Medicaid or Medicare?
Approximately 80%. We'll be
80%.
talking about that more.
Okay.
Yes.
And then that other 20%, they're private pay
Or Medicare
or Medicare?
or insurance, private insurance for
Okay.
short stay.
And do we give plenty of notice before we do this?
Absolutely. That's all regulated.
Okay.
Yep.
And then if somebody has a problem, then you You work with them?
Yeah, we work in their spend down. We have a financial meeting with every admission and their power of attorney. And we discuss all the plan right at admission. It's a very thorough process to make sure we understand where they are with their assets, what they need to spend down. Prepaid burial, all those types of things need to be taken care of before they would convert to Medicaid.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes, thank you, Member Zay. You're okay, Member Rutledge? Okay, Member Krajewski?
Yeah, do you know what our subsidy is this year from the general fund?
$2 million.
2 million. Do we track because it is a separate enterprise fund, do we track the deficit that's there accumulated? For over the years?
Well, we can put that together.
I was just curious. I mean, in past years, it's been 3 million, but I was just curious what the deficit is that we've carried.
Well, actually, the care center, their expenses have been a lot lower. And
You just said 2 million this year.
yeah, we're still transferring money. We put money in the budget as a subsidy and we do transfer that over.
Because I know it's less than it has been in
It's less.
prior years. I was
And,
just wondering what the accumulated total is in that.
I
I
can
don't
go
need it
back.
now.
Yeah, but the care center has a reserve actually, of about $12 million.
And we're transferring 2 into it?
What's that?
And we're transferring 2 from our general fund into theirs and they have a $12 million reserve?
Yeah, we're still doing that. It's almost 3
She
million
said-
actually, yeah.
But 2 for the upcoming budget?
It's about 2.
We need, wait, can you come up here, please, Jennifer? Thank you.
Transfer 2 million for the subsidy, which goes to them, but then in addition, we transfer about 2.7 million for the indirect expenses, which then they turn around and give the general fund right back. So we give them the money to give back to us. So they get about 4.7 million.
Well, I wouldn't count giving them 2 and giving it
Correct.
back. So, I mean, I don't know why we do that. Doesn't make sense, but.
Right.
So, but they have a $12 million reserve and but why, is it just because we've continued to historically?
Yes.
And last year and this year, we've had to use our reserves to balance our budget to make it break even. So we did have a gap this year of $1 million, which comes from that. So while 12 million seems significant, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's.
I'm just trying to understand, if you have $12 million in a reserve for the enterprise fund, but we continue to put 3 million into the general fund.
I mean,
I know it's historical, so that's why you've been doing
yeah,
it.
it is. You know, if
I mean,
it's,
most of these enterprise funds are supposed to be self-sufficient.
Right.
We have to bail them out when they
Right.
don't have enough funds. We have a $12 million reserve, but yeah, we're putting another
Yeah.
3 million out of our general fund over there. I mean, we can do that 5 years from now when we're down to 5 million in a reserve. Or we could limit a little bit of what goes in there. I mean, it doesn't seem to make sense. We got this huge reserve and yet our general fund, we keep pushing money over there.
right.
I mean,
You know, I think 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, the care center was definitely in need of that money.
oh, absolutely. I
Right.
remember what's sitting on committee, but maybe that's something we should look at in the future. I mean, it doesn't, I don't know why we're putting money over there. I mean, we can always do it. I mean, the general fund's gonna bail out any of these enterprise funds down the road if they need money. You know, if our tort liability fund, because of a claim, we're gonna put money in.
Right.
I just don't understand why we keep doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Krajewski. Member Shorzy?
Since we're talking about the reserves, what percentage of reserves is for the annual budget for the care center? Or does the 12 million fall?
Well, it's a $44 million operation.
So about 25% or 25.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Any other questions? Okay, all in favor? Oh, no, we have to, wait, no, wait, we have to make a motion to approve. Can I have a motion to approve HSR? Oh, Julie, you take this one. I'm sorry.
I move to approve HHSR 405-22. This is the care center increase I mentioned earlier, effective December 1st, 2022.
Motion by Member Renahan, second by Member Selman. All in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Member Krajewski?
We ever vote on that 8G, the one, Member Ozog had questions and we got into discussion on the.
HG on, HG. Yes, we did.
I know got answers, but I'm not sure we took a roll call. I was
Did we take a
alerted
roll
by
call?
member next
We
to
did.
me, and then we had discussion. Okay. All right, Sam. Just-
Okay. Well, our secretary is saying we did take a vote, so I think we're okay. We're going to move on to informational. Member Krajewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to receive and place on file informational items: A, payment of claims; B, wire transfers; and C, grant proposal notifications.
Okay, I have a motion by member Krajewski and a second by member Garcia to receive and place and file items A, B, and C under informational. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, member Krajewski. We move on to budget discussion, and I just wanted to make a few remarks. I wanted to thank the committee here, all the department chairs, our committee chairs, all department heads, our staff for working on the budget. I was very pleased to see that Chairman Cronin took a lot of the finance committee and all of your recommendations, you know, in this budget, including the RTA tax, which I know member Pachowski and member Krajewski and myself were big proponents to get some of that RTA tax over to transportation, you know, giving our employees the 4% with the one-time inflation adjustment and the vehicle replacement. There was a lot of things in there. I think it's a good budget. And I just wanted to thank all of you and, you know, the department heads and staff and everybody for working on that with us. Do we have any other discussion under budget item under the budget? We're going to pass it out of this committee on October 25th. Yeah, because we're in October now. So if you have any, you know, items, questions, get them into staff before, you know, we pass it out of finance. Okay, seeing no discussion, do we have any old business? Do we have any new business? I am advised we have to go into executive session. So pursuant to Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 120/2, we are going in for collective negotiating matters. Can I have a motion to go into executive session? Motion by member Selman, second by member Pachowski. All in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Okay, we're going to back to our open session. Can I have a roll call, please?
Member Chaplin.
Here.
Member Covert. Member Desart. Member DeCiani. Member Eckhoff. Member Garcia.
Here.
Member Hart. Member Krajewski. Member LaPlante. Member Ozog. Member Phillips. Member Pachalski. Member Renahan. Member Rutledge.
Here.
Member Schwarzy. Member Selman. Member Torrentori. And Member Zay.
Okay, we have a quorum. And we move on to item number 14, matters referred from executive session. Can I have a motion on FI 040922 resolution authorization of the memorandum of understanding with AFSCME? Motion by member Garcia, second by member Selman. Any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, second by member Rutledge. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by member Kajus. What? Second, you know, I've been trying to find more presentations for this committee, member Zay. I know you're very disappointed again. I have a motion by member Osag, a second by member Garcia. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, thank you.